might remember a couple of weeks ago, I did a story on how Black Canadians have been locked out of the medical marijuana industry. Well, they did the same thing here in the US. What they do is they price you out. They make the prices so high that they know the average Black person can't afford to get into the business. And that's how they have gotten around with all industries in America. They make it unaffordable to the average Black person. And then what happens is they spend the next decades telling you about, oh yeah, these Black people have been shut out of the end. They need to bring more Black business owners in for the marijuana industry. And they'll just talk and babble about it, and it won't go any further than that. And while that's happening, the white owners are now raking in all of the money, and you're not getting in on all of it. So the talking about it in the media is just to pacify you. Oh yeah, we do need to see more Black business owners. Yeah, we need to see more. It needs to be more balanced, and it doesn't go beyond that. Just a bunch of babbling. So, but that's the oldest trick in the book. They've been doing this for the longest. So Black farmers shut out of a $10 billion medical marijuana business. So they can easily be in this business if they're farmers, then they know how to grow things. National support for legalizing marijuana has been growing rapidly. Now legalized in 23 states and the District of Columbia for medical use, and 4 states, Colorado, Washington, Oregon, and Alaska, and DC for recreational use. Cannabis is big business. Independent analysis have valued the legal industry at $3 billion and rising to $10 billion when including, okay, so what they're doing is just telling you the value of the business and how much it has rise. That's all. It's no big deal. And what is that supposed to mean to Black people that have been shut out on purpose out of the industry? Cassandra Farrington, the co-founder and chief executive of Marijuana Business Media, puts the industry's workforce at 60,000. Other states are expected to follow suit over the next couple of years, putting an end to cannabis prohibition, with the industry concentrating on making cannabis more of a mainstream and sellable product. A growing crop of businesses are expected to profit from the cultivation and distribution of marijuana. There has been widespread concern that African American entrepreneurs would be left out. America's big green rush, and they did that on purpose. They made sure they priced us out of it, ladies and gentlemen, and they're not going to do nothing about it. Just understand, they didn't do anything about it for any other industry. They're not going to do anything about it for this. Now, one thing we can do is a Black Wall Street style of growing it and selling it among the community, and then we patronize the Black owned cannabis businesses and take all the business that we are giving them right now away from them. It's just an idea to fix the problem. So now there is concern that Black farmers will be kept out as well. In many states that have legalized medical marijuana, people with drug-related felony convictions cannot open cannabis-related businesses. Additionally, but you're arresting them for cannabis. You're arresting them for having marijuana, but they can't have the business. Additionally, application fees and licensing fees for medical marijuana dispensaries often total tens of thousands of dollars, done on purpose to price Black people out of the industry, further keeping opportunity at arm's length for mainly minority entrepreneurs. With many states like Florida and allowing nurseries to grow and distribute it, but under very tight constraints. A provision of a Florida medical marijuana law has caused much controversy among Black farmers in the state who said it's shutting them out of the potentially lucrative industry, reports thinkprogress.org. Again, this is historic. This is historic. We've been priced out of it. The group has now taken their fight to the Florida legislature in hopes of passing an amendment that takes the regulation out of the bill. Last year, Florida Governor Rick Scott signed the Compassionate Medical Cannabis Act, which allows some nurseries in the state to grow and distribute low THC marijuana to patients who suffer from cancer, seizures, and muscle spasms. But the law stipulates that those who qualify for licensing must have operated as a registered nursery in Florida for 30 consecutive years. Okay, again, that was a sneaky way of keeping Black people out of it. They know most Black people don't have nurseries. Come on. I mean, this is so obvious, man. How much more obvious can you be? A criterion that many, if not all, Black farmers in the state cannot meet. Farmers of color said they've been hampered by the U.S. Department of Agriculture, USDA, past discriminatory practices that have made it difficult for them to thrive in the industry. Exactly. There weren't that many Black farmers 30 years ago in the nursery business. Howard Gunn Jr., the president of the Florida Black Farmers and Agriculturists Association, told Fox News, because of that, we weren't able to produce as much or be as profitable as other farmers. If we found one Black farmer growing that many plants, it would be surprising. Regardless of the outcome, the current case in Florida is reminded some farmers of color that the economic position didn't occur by happenstance, according to thinkprogress.com. During the Reconstruction era, for example, freed slaves couldn't receive farming loans without credit history. Right. They always come up with a way to throw something in there where they know a lot of Black people weren't able to do something, or you weren't in no industry and had a nursery. And they know that when they throw that in the law. Oh, well, you got to have a nursery for 30 years. We can't even get business loans. This is why you must you get your money and bank Black. Bank Black. The USDA later marginalized farmers of colors by increasing tax sales, seizing of land through eminent domain. Yeah, that happened to a lot of Black farmers, a lot. Delaying loans until after the end of the planting season, and denying crop disaster relief funds. So Black farmers that lose their crops, they don't get anything like white farmers do. By the early 1990s, the Black farmer population fell by nearly 100%, eventually prompting a class action lawsuit against the USDA that resulted in the allocation of more than $2.3 billion to move more than 13,000 farmers. To more than 13,000 farmers. So, ladies and gentlemen, we've been priced out of the industry. Just understand that. And it was a deliberate act. They didn't want us in the industry. But see, they won't hesitate to round you up and arrest you for marijuana, but they don't want you in the industry profiting from it. But it's okay for you to be behind bars over it, though. Just know this is deliberate. This is why you see it going on in Canada in the same manner that it's happening to Black people in America. It's all by design. It was always their plan to make it this way, where it's a mostly white industry, and that's what it is. But please tell me what you think, ladies and gentlemen, about this story. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.